was rotating, and we needed to make sure that we were on top of this one simply because it's moving into our most populated area of our viewing area right now. So again, that's Tuscaloosa over towards Lake Ridge. If you are within this red blinking box here, this polygon that you see, make sure that you are getting to your safe place right now. Here's where that area of rotation is, right over Lake Ridge right now. It's fairly broad, but we are looking at some pretty intense wind speeds coming from this. So as we check our velocity here, we can actually see some of those wind speeds upwards of 81 miles per hour on the leading edge, 64 miles per hour. So you add all this together, we could be looking at wind speeds upwards of 90 miles per hour moving through Tuscaloosa right now. We do have our camera in place. I'm actually grateful that it's actually still operating, but you can see, look at those flashes off in the distance of lightning there. And if you look closely, it almost appears as though the horizon is just shifting. That's because look at that. Wow. That lightning is very intense right now. I will turn on our lightning. Look at all of this lightning. This is a very concentrated amount of lightning. When we start to see a lot more lightning, that actually indicates an area of rotation. So I'll zoom in here just to the north of Lake Ridge. Look at this. This would be the couplet. This is the area of rotation just near Yacht Club Bay. So if you know where the Yacht Club is, it's going to be just really on top of the Yacht Club right this moment in time. This is going to be heading across County Road 42, lifting off to the north and to the east along Derrick Road, along Old Lock 75 Road, and then moving east towards Port Mayfield Road. This will emerge kind of on the eastern side of Tuscaloosa County here very soon, but this is the area of rotation that we're tracking right now near Mariners Cove, Yacht Club Bay. This is heading up Old Watermelon Road, and this is just outside of Driftwood Estates. We're in central and east Tuscaloosa County, just located on the eastern side of the city of Tuscaloosa. The city of Tuscaloosa there's a lot of rain falling on top of you right now, but what we're tracking primarily is where that area of rotation is strongest. So let me zoom back out. I'll reset this. It looks like our Walker County tornado warning has kind of transitioned and morphed into more of a severe thunderstorm warning. So the only tornado warning we have on our map currently is going to be here in Tuscaloosa County. And keep in mind, this is heading right towards Jefferson County. So if you're watching us right now, I've received a lot of messages over the last several hours asking, is this storm going to affect Birmingham? The answer is now yes. So if you live in Jefferson County, go ahead and seek shelter, get to your safe spot. Again, you make your way there. You don't have to do it with urgency necessarily in Jefferson County yet, but I just wanted to give you a heads up. This storm system is on its way. Several of these storms tonight have had the history of producing considerable amounts of rainfall, very strong winds. We've had rotation. We're getting reports of probably some tornado damage and straight line wind damage. So this is a big storm barreling through, and this is another round of it that we're tracking right now. So let me go back to where we can get a little bit better perspective here, and this is going to be our storm velocity. That's what we're looking at. I'll take the lightning off. There's just so much lightning right now. It's really actually hard to see the map, and it really won't matter because you can see it right there on our Tuscaloosa tower cam. But as I zoom in here, again, city of Tuscaloosa is at the bottom of your box there. So there's Tuscaloosa. Here's the city of Tuscaloosa up towards Northport. This is going to be just to the east of Lake Ridge and Wood Village. Very strong winds. This is where we're going to see that area of rotation, and this is absolutely beginning to intensify. You can tell that by the reds almost turning to a brighter color there. And if we look at the velocity here, we can actually see those. Look, 92 mile per hour winds. So let's look at this debris. Look at that. There's the debris ball right there.
It's intensified a little bit more. We definitely have a tornado on the ground.
Oh, there it is. Look at that.
Yep.
That's our debris ball. Wow. Okay, so let's kind of shift focus here for just a second. I'm going to scoot this map over here so we get a little bit better vantage point, and we'll get this this little warning off the screen here. So right over Derrick Road, we were just talking about that east of Watermelon Road. That's where we're seeing this debris ball. This is going to be heading towards Hall Howell Camp Road and Lock 17 Road as it makes its way into Birchfield. This is the debris ball that we were looking at. This blue dot on your screen indicates that there is debris being lofted into the atmosphere, and it's literally being picked up on our radar in the upper level scans of our radar scan there. And then with our lightning intensifying, and you can see that on the screen here, it's very evident that there is a strong storm and the likelihood of a tornado on the ground. Griffin, any reports yet of actual visual confirmation of this just yet?
Not just yet. They're going to call it a tornado, an observed tornado, of course, based on that velocity couplet that you see there, and with the debris signature as pronounced as it is. You really need to take this storm seriously. I know it's been waves of storms basically all day long, but look at that, Ashley. That is a 100 mile per hour, at least gate to gate shear, probably 120 miles per hour.
120 miles. So gate to gate basically means what we're looking at is the combined wind speed on this velocity. So now we're adding up about 120, possibly 130 mile per hour winds as we are tracking this storm. Now, this is going to be the area of rotation right over Derrick Road. Again, this is heading towards Hall Road. This tornado warning set to expire at 9:30 tonight. Hard to believe that we have had just an entire day of this severe weather. Let me move this off the screen just so we can get a little bit better vantage point here. Let me zoom out just a touch, and I'm going to put a track on this. This is definitely a serious situation in eastern Tuscaloosa County. This is going to be making its way into western Jefferson County. Please, if you live in western Jefferson County, go ahead and get to your safe place immediately. Here's some cities that will be impacted by this as we track this storm off to the north and to the east. Right now, moving at about 50 miles per hour. Here's those cities you need to take shelter: Providence, Little Shoal, Ezra, all the way towards Adger, Toadvine, Hopkins, and Maxine. Anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes. Please seek shelter. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Get to the lowest floor of your building, of your house, and make sure if you are seeking shelter at a storm shelter, this is the time to go from inside the car to inside the shelter. And also, if you may be leaving a room that has a television, download our CBS 42 app. We are streaming all of this information live for you right now on our CBS 42 app. The latest scan still has this as a very well-defined couplet here on our velocity product, and so what we're looking at is our speed. So I want to click back on our velocity. Look at this. Our gate to gate is absolutely about 120, 125 mile per hour gate to gate shear is how we kind of talk about it in the weather world. But that is an intense amount of wind and an intense. Look at that couplet right there, Griffin. Wow.
A tornado down, and there's still debris being lofted by this tornado when you look at the correlation coefficient as well. Obviously, it's not as pronounced there, but this tornado, and we can call it certainly a tornado, it's crossing the Black Warrior River right now. It's crossing just over Watermelon Road, moving towards Antioch Community Road, Lock 17 Road. If you're in Bull City, if you're in Providence, any of the communities within the path of this, you really need to take shelter, because we know basically with certainty now that there's a tornado down, and it's tracking northeast towards those communities that Ashley's pointing out. So Bull City and Providence and even Birchfield. I know this may pass maybe south of you, but I would seek shelter. It's just going to be too close to call. So definitely take the storm seriously. We have debris, we have stuff being lofted by this tornado right now.
Yeah, and I wanted to show the severe winds. When we're looking at our severe wind tracker and it begins to make this S shape, that's very indicative of rotation, and primarily looking at these circles that are very dark. This is a kind of maroon and burgundy color right there in the middle. We want to make sure that these colors, these are identifying where we're seeing some of our strongest winds. It actually looks like they just extended that warning, maybe reassess kind of the size and shape of that. So let me zoom out and see what that new warning entails. Okay, it looks like they basically just trimmed off the back and the southern side of this, but now they're looking at more a concentrated area. This will include the city of Hueytown. I would say Hueytown up towards Fairfield, back towards North Johns, and then into the eastern side of Tuscaloosa County. So with that in mind, we have to make sure that we are putting into action our severe weather safety plan, putting as many walls between you and the outside. Stay away from windows. And this is something that you can do. Be proactive about that right now. Looking at that severe wind threat right now, this is going to be a very intense situation. Let me go back to our storm team velocity. What we're looking at in our relative velocity here, we're looking at the motion of the storm relative to the speed of the storm. It's just crossed over Old Lock Road, and now we're still seeing a very well-defined couplet there. So a tornado on the ground in East Tuscaloosa County. This is past Tuscaloosa, the city. It's moved east of you. It's now really kind of moving out of Tuscaloosa County, about to enter into Jefferson County. I'm going to zoom out of this to put a track on it so that we can get an idea of those cities that are about to be impacted. I want to make sure that you have enough time to get to your safe place. You have enough warning time here. But Bull City, Providence, make sure that you are taking those proper precautions all the way to Ezra, Mud Creek, all the way to Hueytown, Mulga, Fairfield. I know Mulga and Fairfield, you're really on the fringe of this, but look at this. Griffin, if this continues, this is actually going to be making its way right into downtown Birmingham.
It would appear so, yes. Hopefully, you know,